What's up, guys, and welcome to Random SEC, your home for the best college baseball, college basketball, and college football content for the Southeastern Conference. Please, we're doing great on our socials, but we're still trying to grow this YouTube thing, so a subscribe would really be helpful. That would help us out a lot. Please do it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. Okay, the number 21 Arkansas Razorbacks will travel to Starkville for their The number 21 Arkansas Razorbacks will travel to Starkville to face an 11-11 Mississippi State team that is in dire need of more quad one victories, and this would be a huge one here against the number 21 ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, who had a bye this week along with Mississippi State, and let's be honest, a maybe needed bye after a embarrassing loss for the Razorbacks on last Saturday against the Kentucky Wildcats. The Kentucky Wildcats came into Arkansas's home, a home that they were undefeated in Bud Walton Arena, and just absolutely dominated them from the first opening tip to the buzzer at the end of the game. This is going to be an interesting one, guys. Look, Mississippi State, they haven't had the year that they, maybe thought they were going to. Chris Jans, he's been phenomenal at Hail State, but this year really hasn't been it for them. 11-11. I'm not going to say that it's completely over this year, but it's looking like that. And at this point, you're in February, 1 month away from March. You got to stock up quad one wins. There's no other way to put it. You got to get a big string of wins here if you're Mississippi State. If you want any hope at an at-large bid, the hopes are very, very slim. But there's always a chance in the SEC tournament, obviously. One underlooked thing, I think, in this game is just an absolute insane matchup at the guard position, specifically the point guard position. Josh Hubbard averaging 20.8 points per game, and Darius Acuff, the star freshman for Arkansas, averaging 20.3 points per game. I mean, these two guys are two of the best players in the country. Regardless of Mississippi State's record, Josh Hubbard is an absolute beast. He's one of my favorite players in the SEC, and he has been for the last 3 years. So Hail State, let's start with them. What does it take for them to win this game? You got to flush out everything that's happened, right? It hasn't been your year. But if you're going to put up a string of wins, you got to throw that out, and you got to be a new team. You got to be your own team. And that takes taking it one game at a time. We've seen flashes of Mississippi State where they can be good. They can be competitive. Let's not forget, first game of conference play, they beat Texas, a Texas team who's looking pretty good right now. So there's no realm where I'm saying Mississippi State's completely out of every game. They're not like that. They can win games, but it's about consistency. It's about players playing great on a consistent basis, and it's about key players showing up in key moments. Now, Josh Hubbard's been pretty consistent, let's be honest, but they need more than just Josh Hubbard. He leads the team in assists and points. You got to spread those statistics out just a little bit if you're Hail State, but we know Chris Jans. We know he's a great coach. He's going to be a guy who is going to have his team ready to play more often than not, and at the end of the day, if you're Mississippi State, you look at this game and you say, if we're going to do it, we got to do it now, right? You lost at Missouri, and it was a close one. You're coming back home, and I expect a decent performance from the students and the fans in general. Maybe your last good performance at the hump, if it's a loss. So you got to take advantage of this. I'm not saying this is a tournament team. If you win this game, by no means, you're 11-11. You're going to do a lot more work, but you got to take it one game at a time. This is a starting point. You've lost 4 out of the last 5, maybe more than that. I'm just looking at the last 5. You're, second to last in the SEC, third to last, fourth to last. So you got some work to do is what I'm trying to say for Mississippi State. But there is a path. Now, the defense has got to get better. And let's be quite frank, you got to be more consistent. And let's look at Arkansas, right? A team that's been just kind of inconsistent this year, and we don't really know what to think about them because at some nights they look like the best team in the country, and then other nights they're just In that other night that was against Kentucky last Saturday in Bud Walton Arena. Now, we haven't seen that performance out of Arkansas at home. That LSU game kind of, but really when Arkansas's been at home, they've been the dominant team. And Kentucky came in and they said, nah, that's that. We don't care about that. We don't care about that home atmosphere. And they walked in and just kind of made you their you-know-what. So if you're Arkansas, that's got to be a gut check. And we've said it so often this year. this game's a gut check. This game's a gut check. This game's a gut check. But it hasn't been because Arkansas remains inconsistent. And at first we thought maybe it's just the road thing, but now they've lost at home. And I think that's huge. I think that is going to wake this Arkansas team up. I think it has to if you're going to go deep in March. We know what Arkansas can be. We saw it against Texas Tech. We saw it against Louisville. We saw it against Duke, even though they lost. We saw it against Michigan State at Michigan State, even though they lost. We've seen it against Tennessee. We know how good this Arkansas team could be. We've seen it against Vanderbilt, right? We've seen 30-point wins against top 25 teams, top 15 teams. We've seen what this Arkansas team can be, but can you be consistent? And it starts with the defensive end. You got to be consistent on the defensive end. You got to be able to rebound and be good on defense. Your bigs got to show up every single game. Malik Ewan, Mick Pringle, Trevin Brazil, they got to show up every game. The real guy that I haven't seen any production for, really, is Nick Pringle. He just hasn't been there for Arkansas. I still see a pathway where he can be a factor for this Arkansas team, but we haven't seen it yet. Trevin Brazil's got to be more consistent, and we got to see more playing time for Malik Ewan because when he's been in, he's been one of the best players in the SEC. I truly believe that. Arkansas, some of its coaching, a lot of it's defensive and rebounding. Some of the lineups that they put out there, I think there could be better, but a lot of it's defensive and rebounding. So, not going to harp on that anymore. Arkansas needs this win. Just because the way they got gut checked in their home arena, you have a week off to let it stew. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. And this is a Mississippi State team who is sneaky. So this isn't going to be one of those games where you walk into the hump, roll the ball out there, and win this game like you keep thinking you can. No, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work for it, and there's no other way about it. This is an Arkansas team that needs players to step up when it matters. You can't just have Billy Richmond being the only guy that tries every single game. You have to overcome adversity when things aren't going your way. How do you make it go your way? Because right now, when Arkansas doesn't start off fast, they lose. That's the hard truth. They need to start out fast to win games, and that's not going to cut it in March because you're going to have an off night. Trust me, you're going to have an off night, and great teams win in an off night. And I haven't seen that from Arkansas. So are they a great team yet? I don't think so. But they can prove it to me. And they can start by winning at Mississippi State in Starkville. But Mississippi State, like I said, is, although they're 11-11, you can't overlook them. This is going to be, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a rocking environment at the hump. You know, this isn't going to be one of those games, like I said, you can walk in there, sleepwalk your way through it, and come out with a W. It just isn't. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a close game, in my opinion. But if you're Arkansas, any road win, any quad, whatever win, you will take, and you will take happily. I said that at OU. Wasn't the greatest performance from Arkansas, but a road win in the SEC, I will take that 10 times out of 10. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best team ever. A road win in conference play, I will take that 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100. And at the end of the day, while I do still see a path for this Mississippi State team to get hot and maybe find their way into the tournament, I don't know, maybe through the SEC tournament or other means, I don't know. Still a dangerous Mississippi State team could knock some people off. I don't think that happens on Saturday. I think Arkansas gets waken up by that Kentucky game and comes out ready to play. A week off. I trust Calipari. I trust him to get his guys ready after a week off, surely. But I think it's going to be a close game. I really, really do. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go Arkansas 97, Mississippi State 87. I think it's going to be high scoring because right now, I know Arkansas's defense needs to improve, but nothing right now has shown me that it can improve. So until I see that, I'm going to still say high scoring games for Arkansas. That's just how I'm going to do it. The main thing for Arkansas, right? In the Kentucky game, you had an off-night shooting. You couldn't get it to go down. Darius Acuff was cold, even though a cold game for him is 20 points. But other guys, Billy Richmond was probably your best offensive player. That's not what you want. He's a great player, but that's not what you want. When offensively you aren't clicking, where do you find answers? And I almost hope Arkansas isn't clicking offensively because I want to see if you can use your defense, rebounding, transition play, make transition plays for turnovers, and get a W without your offense necessarily clicking, without you making a ton of threes. I want to see what you can do because you had a gut check at Kentucky. And how do you respond? How do you respond coming out of that? It's up to you, Arkansas. We'll see. But Mississippi State is not going to be easy. Chris Shands is going to have his team ready to play, and he is always good at game plans despite the record this year. Thank you so much for watching. This is Random SEC. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. It's completely free, and I would really, really appreciate it. I would love you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm praying for you. This is Random SEC. See ya later.